Hi, in this video we will see how to enable AWS EC2 Linux machine backup with using AWS Backup Service. Here we will see what is the configuration that you need to maintain on Amazon EC2 services. Here especially that is Linux VM. On the other side we have a AWS Backup Services. In the AWS Backup Services we will see how we can create AWS backup plans and then associate the this Amazon EC2 machine. And also we will see what is that we need to create in the Amazon backup vault. And then finally we will see that our example machine, that is Amazon Linux machine, is getting backed up in the AWS backup services. So I'm currently in my AWS account. We are in the Oregon region. As part of this demo I have created my Linux machine, and this Linux machine is not yet enabled for the backup. So as part of this demo we're going to see how we can enable this machine for the backup. So this is Amazon Linux OS version machine. Now I will take you to the AWS backup service. So remember that you need to use the same region as your AWS machine is, right? So as said earlier, we are in Oregon region where we have created our AWS EC2 machine. In the same region of the AWS account, that is in the Oregon region only, we have to create the AWS backup configurations. So basically, as you see here, so there are 3 steps here that you can do in the AWS backup. One is create a backup plan. So backup plan specifies the backup schedules, backup retention rules, and the lifecycle rules for your backups, right? And then once the backup plan is been defined, that backup plan can be applied on the EC2 machines or other machines like RDS or other supported services. So based on that, based on the definition of the backup plan, it keeps taking the backup of your machine. And then with using those backup, you can try to recover your services during the disaster. And that's how the AWS backup services helps us in the disaster recovery. For now, as part of the demo, what we do is as you see in the left hand side, there are a lot of options here. As I said, we're going to first create a backup plan here. So click on a backup plan and then we go to the build a new plan, and let's give the backup plan name as demo Linux backup. So this is my backup plan name in the tag. So here you can add a tags to this particular plan, and then the schedule name, so let's call it as a daily backup is the let it be the name of the schedule, and the vault. So here you need to have, you can use the default vault provided by the AWS, or you can create your own vault. Generally it is recommended to create your own vault. So what I do is as you see here, I'm gonna click on a create new vault on the fly, which means that when you're creating AWS backup plan, you can also create a vault where that plan can store the backups. So here let me call it as a Linux vault, which means that we are storing the Linux machines backup in this vault. So there are 2 types of vault basically which you can always explore, that is backup vault. Other one is the logically air gapped vault, right? So these are all vault that has its own benefit. Right now I'm not going to go in deeper on that. You can always explore. So in this one it has to have an encryption key by default. So we're going to go with the whatever AWS provides as a default encryption key. So let's click on a create vault, which will create a resource called vault, and that vault will be used so that vault will be used in our backup plan definition. So let me go here and try to refresh it here. So we have the backup vault available here, right? So in the other pane where we have created, so if you go ahead and refresh it, you should see a vault here. So there is a default vault and the Linux vault which we just now created. So I'm using this Linux vault in the policy definition here, or backup plans. Generally it is being called as either backup policy or a backup plan. And the backup window, so backup window is a definition. It's talk about how frequently your the backup has to be happen. So basically backup frequency is daily, right? So in a day when that backup has to start, and what is the window, something like that. So you can set it for now. So what I do is I'm going to keep the backup after maybe from 7 minutes from now. So let me call it as let me call it as 12:45, so that I can show or cover up in this video recording as well. So that's the reason I'm giving immediate time, but in your case you can change it, right? And then here start time, so we're going to give the time, basically we need to give the timestamp that is belongs to IST, so you can check for the Kolkata. So this is our time zone, right? So you need to choose the time zone as well in the start within, that is specify the period of time in which the backup plan start. It does not. So basically 8 hours completion within. So this is, which is fine default. Let's go with it, right? And then the point in time recovery. So point in time recovery is an option, which will enable you to continuously take the backup of your service, so that it will that kind of configuration will enable you to recover the backup with a bare minimum, the downtime like that. So that is what this option is all about. For now, we're gonna ignore it. We go to the next one, that is lifecycle. In the lifecycle, there are a lot of cost saving options, that is move the backup from warm to cold. So this is an option. If you are storing the backup from past 90 days, which is not recommended, by the way. So if you are doing such a lengthy backups, in that case, this is option. You can choose it to save the cost. For now, I'm not going to enable it, right? And the total retention period of the backup is 35, is bare minimum enterprise standard, and that much should be enough. Rest all options, we're going to keep it default. The copy to destination, in the sense you can always copy to the secondary region this backup. So that is where this copy to destination is an optional option available here. And then the tags added to the recovery point. So that is nothing but whatever the tag you're gonna add it, so that will be added to the your backup. So let me add it as a OS equal to Linux. Let me add this as a tag, so that we know that hey, this is the Linux OS backup, something like that. So we're gonna add that, right? So let it be one tags added to the recovery point, that is on the backup. Then the other one is the advanced backup settings, which you can basically try it. If you want to use it, you can use it. This is something related to the Windows one. Right now we are focusing on Linux, so I'm not going to take care of that. So with that option, you can click on a create plan, which will create a plan for us, right? And then the second option, so you see that the backup plan is creation successful. Now you can now add the additional scheduled rules or assign the resources to the backup, right? So now where are we? Now we have created a plan. To that plan, we need to assign a resources. How do we assign a resources? That is something we're going to explore now in the next option, that is assign resources. So resource assignment name, let me call it as the Linux assignment rule. Okay. And then so here we have to choose a IAM role. This IAM role should be assumable by the backup service. So let me call it as, I have a default IAM rule, that is ETL Lambda role. So this is the role which has the full access, and this role is trusted by AWS Backup Services. So that's the reason I'm choosing this role, or else in your option you can go for the default role. The next one is the resource selection. In the resource selection, we have plenty of options which we can explore here. That is define a resource selection, that is protect all resources or the specify resource by ID or type, something like that. So here include all resource type, protect all resources types that are enabled in your accounts, like that. Okay, so basically there is a prerequisite configuration, that is from the AWS settings. We need to enable something which I'm going to show it after this assignment is created. So here you have two options. Either you can go for this one, or selection by by this one. That is so basically it becomes an option in the sense if you define a resource selection, that is include all resource types there, or to be specific, right? When you go for include all resources, what happens, this backup will jump and try to backup every resource that you create in this in this account, which is risky and may cost you a lot. So that's the reason I'm suggesting you to use include specific rule type. So here we're gonna choose a root resources, that is just EC2, because this currently we are focusing on EC2. And then let me instance ID, let it be everything, right? And then the another option, that is exclude a specific resource ID from the selection, that is also you can do it. And then within the group of EC2 services, you can again specifically choose it, right? So you have 100 of machine in that one, you need to back up some machine in the particular plan. The certain another machine should be backed up in another plan, right? So that is nothing but you have a 3 environment, dev, UAT and prod. These are need to be backed up differently. So in such cases, you can use that tagging mechanism, which will again do some other things, right? So let's call it let's add a tag, that is if a EC2 machine has a tag with a key value equal to environment and the value equal to S, right? So let's call it the condition, that is value equal to S. right? So in that case, I need that kind of resource to be scoped underneath this backup plan. So here I will go and continue, click on assign role. So there is some IAM role cannot be assumed because, yeah, I understand that because, because that IAM role is not trusted by AWS Backup Services. So let me go back and fix this right now. So let me try to fix it. That is basically EC2 server analytics role. So let me use this another role that is again trusted by AWS backup services. So let me try to reassign. So you know that when you're choosing a custom role, there is a potential chances of that the role cannot be assumed, error can occur. So let me call it as a assigned role. So currently looks to be the IAM role is not making compatible. I'm gonna go back and check which is the correct IAM role and select it here. Okay, so after choosing the another IAM role, so I chosen the IAM role something like this. I'm going to show you that what was my IAM role that I've chosen in the role assignment. So this is the IAM role with the name like my instance role, and you see that the permissions I have given is a full access because because this is a demo. But in your case, I'm going to leave this task to keep the IAM role with the least privileges on your own. In the trust relationship, so this is the important thing that was not matching. That's the reason we were facing the error during the service assignment. So now when I added this one, you see that my role assignment, the resource assignment configuration got completed, right? So now here you go. So we are done with the two types of configuration. That is basically we have the backup plan with the rule and with the assignment rule as well. So if I open this one, now if I go back to the AWS backup plans, and when I click on this backup plan, so here you go. So we have a backup rule assigned to this particular plan. We have a resource assignment to this plan, okay? And then here you can always check what is the thing happening, right? Now with that being said, we have done with the configuration that you need to maintain on the AWS backup, that is have a vault and have the backup plan with the with the definition of your backup rule and the resource assignment rule as well. So with that said, I will take you to the my AWS EC2 services, and we go to the tags here. So I'm going to add a tag. So if you remember that we added a tag called env equal to so what is that we have added, that you can always try to find it here. So if I go and click on this one, so here it says environment equal to S, right? I don't know, so I just give it a random shot here, but in your case you can choose the the proper the tags as you need. So with this, what I do is I'm going to save that tag on my EC2 machine, which I would like to get it backed up, right? So with that said, I'm going to go back to the plan and see if any of the resources are being protected. Okay, so if I refresh or click on this one, so right now nothing is been started because we have given the time at 12:45. So I'm gonna wait for that time and come back when this backup job starts. Okay, so for now I'm gonna go on a pause and come back once the backup job is successfully completed. So okay, waiting for more than like 1 hour, so I could see that the AWS backup job has started on this AWS backup plan, and it is also successful. So let me show you that. So this is the backup plan that we have configured just now. So, and that has targeted to a virtual machine, that is the virtual machine which I showed you earlier. And you see that the backup job is successful. So I can create on this one. So this is the backup point is successful. Okay. So with this note, I have shown you the things need to be shown in this video. So before I conclude, let me show you that how this backup job can help you to recover your the last VM or the VM which is basically deleted because of the disasters, right? So if you go to the protected resources, click on this one, so you will have the 2 recovery points. So why 2 recovery points? Because it has run for 2 times. The backup job has run for 2 times. Why? Because I have changed the frequency of the the backup in the backup job plan. So that's the reason it has taken twice the the backup. So each the backup is nothing but a recovery point. Okay, so with using that you can restore a VM. So how to restore a VM with using this backup job, I'm going to show you that in a dedicated another video. For now, this is how we will use the AWS backup to actually protect the the AWS EC2 machine with using the AWS Backup Service. With that note, thank you very much for watching my videos. Kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. With that note, thanks a lot, and see you in the next video.